to this point, as this home run accounted for the only run they've tallied so far. Oh, and he gets a hold of this one as it's in the air to deep left. Does he have another one? He does. It's another home run. A solo shot here to left. His second home run of the game. As the Marlins take the lead, it's now a 2-1 ball game.
Boy, and for how well he's pitched so far, it's hard to believe that he could stand to be the losing pitcher, but that's the scenario he faces now as he serves up the lead.
A handful of fine individual performances to choose from in this one, boys, but what do you say we go ahead and let this man take home the hardware? He's our tops player of the game.
Yeah, he connected on a couple of long home runs, really put his guys on his back and carried them to the victory.
So that just about does it. For EK, Psycho, and the crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, get those smartphones and tablets out and head over to theshownation.com. The Marlins win it 2-1. Good night from Miami. From Flushing, Queens, baseball from the home of the Mets, Citi Field. Tonight it's the first of 4 between the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. It's baseball on the show, and it's coming up next. And here's how the visiting Miami Marlins will line up in this one. Eric, who stands out to you?
You know, they're getting a lot of production out of that number 2 hole right now. He comes into this one with a ridiculous on-base percentage, over 500. So expect to see him creating some offense in this one. He sure has so far this year, and I don't see that changing anytime real soon.
Bartolo Colon will be on the mound for the series opener. Eric, any thoughts?
Well, guys, not a big strikeout pitcher here on the mound, so expect to see a lot of ball.
Rod Johnson will come forward now, back in the lineup here after getting yesterday afternoon off. And a pitch out, nothing doing though, and that's ball 1. And there are the umpires assigned to this one. Balls and strikes belong to Mr. Jerry Hillsdale.
Yeah, Jerry seems to call a really good game back there, Matt. It's pretty rare that you see anyone too overly
Come on, big guy, stay hard up there.
Well hit the other way, and
nice
it's
guy,
into the gap.
boy.
Here comes Gordon around third.
Hold up.
And they're going to take a 1-0 lead as the run comes across to score.
Well, that hit extends his streak to lucky number 13 now. That's almost 2 full weeks where he's been swinging it.
Right guy, right spot. Come on now, kid.
He's going, he's
There
going,
goes
he's
the runner.
going.
Pitches a cold strike. The throw is not in time as he just gets in ahead of the throw.
And let's just train our camera on that runner leading off from second. He's watching that pitcher like a hawk. So once he sees that he's not paying attention to him, he just takes off. And the head-first slide gets him into third just ahead of the throw.
Come on now, one pitch right here.
Colon pauses. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a little tapper, but it gets foul.
Hey, you got it. No one better. Let's go.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, and that's the first out. With that, a look at the batting order for the Marlins. Anybody catch your eye, Eric?
Well, Matt, I'm going to be watching the speedster, D. Gordon. 30 steals now for him on the year and counting, obviously. So he's without a doubt one of the biggest threats on the base paths in the league these days.
Martin Prado will stand in, looking to make this a 2-0 game if he can perhaps get a ball airborne.
Yeah, you've got to put the ball in play right here. A ground ball would probably work as well, as long as you don't hit it too hard right at a corner guy.
Drilled down the line. In to score is the runner from third. It's a 2-0 ball game.
Well, with one out and the infield back, he knows he can pick up the RBI with just a simple ground ball. But he winds up with more than that, as this is going to find a hole for an RBI single.
Rod Johnson gets a shot now with deuces
Come
all
on now,
around.
get your pitch
2
up there,
on,
kid.
2 out here in inning number 2.
One time. Here we go.
Lifted the other way out to left center. Calling for it, De Aza. And that ends the inning. Marlins strand a pair as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. Stepping in and ready for another shot, Travis d'Arnaud.
Hey, one
he
away.
got on top of
One
one
away.
that was a ground out victim last time. Hit on the ground to short. Johnson is up with it. On to first, and there were 2 down.
The shortstop, number 13, has
Striding into the
on, big
box,
guy. Get your
Rod
pitch, huh?
Johnson,
Next for the
as the
Marlins.
switch hitter will take his cuts left-handed here.
Well, he's batting lefty right now, but does it matter? He can hit from either side of the plate.
High and deep
come
to
on, Bob, get
straightaway
outta here,
right.
get outta
Maddox going back on it.
Gone.
A solo shot here to straightaway right field. And that is 27 for him on the year as the Marlins move out in front now 3-2.
Wow, after the first 2 hitters, this inning didn't look like it was going anywhere. But you talk to a lot of hitters, and they'll tell you if they come up with 2 outs and nobody on, that's where they get selfish and try to swing for the fences. And that's what he did right there and launched a solo shot with 2 outs.
David Wright will dig in here. 1 for 2. He's singled and grounded out so far.
Yeah, putting the ball in play.
Hey, now we got 2.
Sometimes that's half the battle.
Grounded to short. Oh, and it goes right past him out there at short. Alejandro De Aza will come forward now. He has flied out and singled so far.
Here we go.
Chen
Runner,
sets.
runner, runner.
Here's the 0-1. Pitch is a cold strike. The throw. And, in fact, there will be no throw as he loses the handle. Charlie Maddox steps into the
Plays
box
at 1
as
now.
the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 7th.
Hey, we got no outs.
Hot. Round is short. Johnson takes it in. And the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and he's safe at first. David Wright ready for another at-bat now. He's 2 for 3 so far.
Yeah, and you can bet he'd love to get himself that third hit. Those are the kind of games that puts a little extra pep in your step.
Runner goes for second.
Go, turn two. Turn two.
Through a base hit, and he's got his third hit of the game. Rod Johnson will stand in now in what could be a real make-or-break situation.
And you think at this point you have to get something out of this inning. The further you get into that bullpen, the tougher it's going to be. You're going.
Back goes Lagares. Gone! Two-run shot to straightaway center, his second of the game, and that lead is trimmed to 7-5 here.
And all season long, when they've needed the big hit, he's been there for them, and he delivers again here in a tight spot. You know, I tell you, he has really impressed me the way he swung the bat this year. No doubt about it.
And fellas, as always, a few guys we could have chosen from, but out of everybody, that's the man who stands out in my book. He's our top player of the game.
Well, he wound up being a pretty tough out. You see the 3 hits, 2 of them were doubles, and he was a real headache every time he stepped to the plate.
Tonight for the victorious New York Mets.
Both teams getting their final warm-ups in as we welcome you back to the MLB pregame show. First pitch of Game 2 in our series is right around the corner. But before we turn that corner, here is our Topps player spotlight. Rod Johnson is our subject as he enters this one having carried his team offensively last time out. He drove in a bunch of runs and really looked dialed in with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that was one of those games he won't forget for some time to come. He was at the plate in some really important situations, and man, did he pull through. I'd say he kind of single-handedly changed the course of the game, and although that performance will be a tough one to match in this one, I know his...
MLB The Show has baseball on tap from lovely Citi Field in New York. Tonight, the second of 4. Rod Johnson will stand in, coming off a 2-home-run game a night ago.
Well, you know, he's been averaging at least an RBI per game over his last 10, so yesterday's performance shouldn't have come as any big surprise to anybody.
Under it, Lagares, and there's one away. And here's how the visiting Miami Marlins will line up in this one. Who stands out to you, EK?
Well, Matt, keep an eye on that number 2 spot. He's been on an absolute tear lately, hitting over 500 in his last 10 ball games. The baseball must look like...
Into the box, Rod Johnson. He flew out in his last at-bat.
And that's just not really his game. Anytime he keeps it on the ground, he's got a pretty good chance of
beating
out a hit.
On the move is Lagares. But he won't have a play. This is down and into the gap. Around second. He'll try for third.
All right, you're here.
And he will make it all the way to third now as that mistake proves a costly one indeed.
Well, there you go. 14 straight games now, and he hasn't gone hitless in a game in over 2 weeks. Do the math.
All right, come on now. One time. Let it fly, buddy.
Okay.
Swing and a miss as he was way early on that one. 3-2.
Well, this is the kind of situation where they came up short last night. They had
Here we
opportunities,
go, baby.
but
Find
they
a good
could
pitch.
never really cash them in, so you can bet they'd love to get something going on the board early here.
To short, hit hard. Cabrera's up with it. Only play's going to be at first, so that'll go as an RBI that brings home the opening marker. As Dribble Cabrera is at the plate now, flied out in his first at-bat. Chopped weakly to the left. Reined in. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. Mets strand one. They still trail it here. Rod Johnson triple
Your
and
pitch,
scored
your
in his
pitch.
last at-bat, and we'll see how he follows it up here.
Johnson.
Yeah, he
Come
already
on,
got
big
to
guy,
show
one
off
time,
those
you
wheels,
go.
so let's see if he can make...
And now, meanwhile, here's a ball headed out toward deep left center field, and this is going to clear the wall, a home run.